What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. And today we'll be discussing the NXT call-ups or debuts on Smackdown last night. There were 3 people who came up from NXT last night, and I just kind of want to talk about it, discuss it, because I do have some things I do want to say about it, because there's some things that I'm not really happy about. I'm happy to see them all go up to the main roster. We'll get into it. But before I do, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comment section below what you think of these call-ups. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the 3 people who came up are Shotzi Blackheart, Tegan Knox, and Toni Storm. But Toni was just a video saying come to Smackdown soon. Like she wasn't actually like wrestling on the show, but Blackheart and Knox did. Well, yeah, so let's kind of go with what happened in order. Shotzi, or Natalia and Tamina came out and they were like, oh, we have some mystery opponents, we're told we need to wrestle. And then Shotzi's music hit, and I was like, oh, Shotzi and Ember are on the main roster as the team now. But no, it was Shotzi and Knox. Which is my first kind of like part, which is kind of one of the things that I'm confused with the most. Why break up an established team in Ember and Shotzi just to have Shotzi go straight into another team with someone else? Like, Ember and Shotzi are former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, so like, I'm confused on why they would split them up, and I'm kind of confused with what they're doing with Tegan. Like, I'm happy to see Tegan on the main roster, especially after all her injuries, but they just brought her back on NXT Wednesday, and it looked like they were setting up for a feud between Tegan and Candice. They were run with the angle of Candice is the one who injured Tegan or took Tegan out. I can't remember if that's what they did on TV when Tegan first got injured, but like that's what the commentators were saying. Oh, Candice cost Tegan X amount of months, and yeah, Tegan kind of went after Candice after Candice's match. So it looked like that's where they were going with Tegan. So then for her to just come up on Smackdown as Shotzi's partner, I'm kind of like, what are they going to do with this Candice feud? Are they just going to ignore, or like Shotzi and Tegan just done with NXT? Because that's kind of what they made it seem. And they got the win over the Natalia and Tamina in like 3 minutes. So it does look like they're going to go forward as a team and after the tag belts. But yeah, like, why break up Tegan? Or like, what was the reasoning behind breaking up Ember? Why not call Ember up with Shotzi? Yeah, that's kind of like my first main problem with it. And then, of course, as I mentioned, what was the point in the whole bringing her back on NXT and the whole going after Candice thing if they're not going to go anywhere with that? So, yeah, we just kind of have to wait and see what happens there. And then the second one, of course, Toni Storm, as I mentioned, they just played a video announcing she's coming soon to Smackdown. And the problem I have with this is I don't mind them announcing stuff every now and again, but this is WWE's biggest problem. They announce stuff just to like pop around every now and again. There's no more element of surprise. That's why Shotzi and Tegan just showing up did work, because it was a surprise. I didn't expect this. Maybe if you read the dirt sheets, you do, but I tend to stay away from spoilers. But if you look back at WWE over recent years, they do like to announce stuff. They do like to announce people coming up and showing like vignettes before they actually show up. They do like to announce returns. Like Edge at the Rumble is kind of like one of the exceptions where that was a surprise and it was a big moment. But like they announced like Goldberg, they announced like Angle coming back, stuff like that to try pop a ring. Whereas they don't have the element of surprise, which is kind of one of their biggest problems. You're like, oh, if they just announce everything, why am I going to tune in? Because there's no surprises. And again, that's what, like I said, Shotzi and Tegan was the surprise, and like I was actually kind of surprised to see them. So yeah, I feel like WWE doing kind of need to not announce everything, but as I said, I don't really mind them announcing Tony Storm, but I feel like they could have done it in a better, maybe. I feel like they could have. She should have been the one to replace Bailey. Of course, Bailey is out injured for 9 months, and like hopefully her recovery and all goes well, because Bailey is a great wrestler, and it's kind of why I'm happy to see them refreshing the SmackDown Women's division, bringing up 3 people, because they're going to be missing Bailey for so long. Yeah, but like Sonya Deville came out and was going to announce Bailey's replacement, and I was kind of expecting this to maybe be a call up. And I feel like this would have been a great opportunity to debut Toni Storm, put her straight into the title picture against Bianca. You can have her lose, and then work her way back up from there. But no, they went with Carmella, and then Liv Morgan came out and ended up getting a place in Money in the Bank, and Carmella will face Bianca next week. Whereas I feel like they could have just, instead of saying, oh, it's going to be Carmella next week, Sonya Deville could have came out and said, oh, tune in next week, you'll have to find out who it is then. And then out comes Toni Storm debut and go straight into Toni versus Bianca. You can have her win, you can have her lose, doesn't really matter. You can, like, if she loses, you can just work her back up. But no, they just decide, oh, coming soon, and replace her with Carmella. But I do feel like the whole Carmella thing is part of a bit of an angle. The whole thing with Liv Morgan, like Liv feeling like she's been underrated, underused. I do feel like this is leading, and like Liv trying to prove herself and get into Money in the Bank. I feel like this is going to probably lead to Carmella winning the belt on SmackDown, Liv winning Money in the Bank and cashing in, because she did say, oh, I'm going to cash in on you. So I do feel like that is where they might go with that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Tony. Does anyone really want to see Carmella versus Bianca Belair? Whereas, like, I feel like Toni Storm would have been a great option to go against Bianca, and he could have got a couple of good matches. But we'll have to wait and see what direction they go. But that is it for this video. Let me know what you thought of everything I discussed in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.